So there's this new savings account in Dubai that everyone has been talking about, the Emirates Islamic e-savings account. The ads are everywhere. It promises up to 4.3% profit per year, and at first glance, it sounds like free money just for parking your cash. But is it actually worth it? Or is it just another marketing gimmick that looks good on paper but doesn't really move the needle once the fine print kicks in? So today I'm breaking it all down in plain English so you can decide whether this account deserves a place in your financial setup here in Dubai. But before we jump in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because I cover money, lifestyle, and investing in Dubai. And if you've ever wondered where to park your savings or how to get most out of your dirhams, this channel is for you. Alright, let's start with what this account actually is. Emirates Islamic recently launched this new e-savings account, and the hook is simple. If you deposit fresh money into it, you can earn up to 4.3% per year. But here's the thing. That rate isn't forever. It's a promotional rate, valid for only a few months. Specifically, if you put in 50,000 dirhams or more during the promotion period, which runs until the end of August 2025, you'll earn 4.3% for those months. Once that window closes, the profit drops down to their standard rates. Now, those standard rates depend on how much money you've got sitting in the account. If your balance is between 5,000 and 50,000 dirhams, you're only getting 0.5% per year. If you're in the range of 50,000 up to 3.5 million, that moves up slightly to 0.8% per year. If you've got a much larger balance between 3.5 million and 25 million dirhams, then it goes up to 1.25% per year. And if you're in the ultra wealthy category with more than 25 million dirhams in there, you get 1.5% per year. But let's be honest, most of us aren't sitting on 25 million dirhams in a savings account. So realistically, you're looking at either 0.5% or the 0.8% once the promo ends. So yes, 4.3% is eye-catching, but it's temporary. If you don't read the fine print, you could end up parking your cash there long term and earning less than 1% after the promotion finishes. Now let's put this into perspective. For someone living in Dubai, say you've got 50,000 dirhams that you don't need for at least 3 months. If you throw that into the Emirates Islamic e-savings account during this promotional period, you're going to walk away with a nice chunk of profit compared to what you'd get if that money just sat in a current account earning nothing. On 50,000 dirhams, 4.3% over a year is about 2,150 dirhams. Over 3 months, you're not getting that full amount, but you're still pocketing a few hundred dirhams essentially for completely free. And the account is Sharia compliant, which is important for a lot of people here. It's structured on a wakala basis, meaning the bank invests on your behalf and then shares the profits with you. From a usability perspective, it's also digital only. There's no debit card, no checkbook, and no physical branch access or visits for this account. Everything happens through the Emirates Islamic app or online banking. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does mean this isn't a day-to-day spending account. It's strictly for savings. So who is this account really for? Honestly, it's for anyone with spare cash who wants to take advantage of a short-term opportunity that's out there in the market. If you've got money that's just sitting around in your current account, whether that's your bonus, business profits, or savings you haven't yet invested anywhere, this is a way to squeeze extra return out of it for a few months. But the catch is you need to be disciplined enough to move that money somewhere else once the promo ends. Otherwise, you'll look back in a year and realize your money was sitting there earning less than 1% when it could have been invested elsewhere. Now, let's compare this with the broader market. Banks in the UAE are becoming a lot more aggressive with these kind of offers. We're seeing some institutions advertising savings accounts with profit rates up to 5% or more, but almost always have conditions attached. Sometimes you need to be a new customer. Sometimes it only applies to new funds. And sometimes the rate is only for a few months in this instance. And in every case, the bank is hoping you'll forget to move your money when the promotion ends, so they keep your balance at a much lower cost to them. So is Emirates Islamic offer the absolute best in the market? Not really, but it's competitive, and if you already bank with them, it's super convenient to open the account through the app in a few clicks. And let's not forget to mention that this promo has an asterisk that can extend the promo period all the way to November, so make sure you read the fine print. The 4.3% is definitely worth taking if you've got the spare 50,000 dirhams laying around, but again, only if you treat it like a temporary parking spot, not a permanent home for your savings. Let me break it down with a scenario. Let's say you have 100,000 dirhams. If you put that into this account today, by the end of the promotion period, you could earn roughly 3,000 to 4,000 dirhams in profit. That's basically a free luxury weekend getaway in Dubai just for being smart about where you park your money. But if you leave that same 100,000 dirhams sitting there for the next year without moving it at all, once the promo ends, you might only make 1,000 dirhams for the entire year. So the real win is being proactive. Take advantage of the promotional rate, then set a calendar reminder to reevaluate once it expires. Maybe at that point you move it into another bank running a new promo, or you invest it into something longer term like US stocks, ETFs, which historically return 8 to 10% annually. Now let's talk inflation, because even that 4.3%, it's great on the surface, but if inflation is eating into your spending power, it could cancel out your gains. Here's what's happening right now. Inflation in the UAE recently hit 2.88% in July 2025, up from 2.37% just a month prior to that. That's the highest reading we've seen in a while. On average, analysts expect inflation to settle around 2.3% for the year 2025. If we zoom into Dubai specifically, inflation hovered between 2.3 and 2.8% in recent months, still significantly lower than what we're seeing nationwide. And projections for the UAE put inflation at around 2.1% overall. So what does that mean for your savings? If you're earning 4.3%, but inflation is 2.3%, your real return, which is the actual growth in purchasing power, is only about 2%. That's still positive, but it's far less eye-catching. In short, this offer beats inflation, yes, but it doesn't outpace it by that much. Now, in a city like Dubai, where housing, utilities, and rent are the three of your biggest costs, and those categories have inflation well above average in some months, you need to think clearly. Is that 2% real return enough? To most people, the answer is yes, if you plan it right and don't leave your money stuck there once the rates drop. But keep in mind, inflation is quietly eroding your savings value even when you're technically earning a profit. So here's my personal take. If you ask me whether I personally would open this account, the answer is yes, but only and only as a short-term play. I'd happily throw in some extra cash that I know I won't touch for the next 3 to 6 months. Milk the 4.3% while it lasts, and then pull it out the moment the rate drops. For me, it's not about loyalty to one single bank. It's about making my money work harder. Dubai is an expensive city, and if the bank is offering free profit for a few months, I'm taking it. But I'm also not going to fall into the trap of leaving my money there long term once it stops being useful and competitive to me. So here's the real question. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Would you jump on the Emirates Islamic e-savings account and grab the 4.3% while it lasts? Or do you think it's too much of a hassle for too little of a reward? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of my talks on money, investing, and living smart in Dubai. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.